Welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy and I'm here to read you another story. And I have another story about a puppy dog. I like to read stories about dogs. I like dogs a lot. And this book is called Stay. Stay. Did you ever tell your dog, stay? A top dog story. This must be a top dog. I wonder why he has to be told to stay. Do you think they're going somewhere and he can't go? I don't know. We're going to have to get into this book and find out what's going on and why we're telling this dog to stay. Are you ready to get inside this dog book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up because here we go. Stay, a top dog story written by Latimer. Ben thought his dog Buster was the best dog in the whole world. Look, Ben sure does love his dog. But Mom and Dad were not so sure. Buster! They yelled because he ate Ben's ice cream cone, jumped in the bathtub, and went running through the garden. Buster was exhausting. I think we need a vacation, said Mom, looking at the giant mess that Buster made around the house. Vacation? Woohoo! Ben couldn't wait until he remembered the last trip. Bark, 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 bark! Buster! Uh-oh, Buster got in a lot of trouble on the last vacation. Buster will stay with Grandpa, said Mom and Dad firmly. No, Buster doesn't get to go with them. But Grandpa doesn't know all the things that Buster likes to do, argued Ben. Then why don't you tell Grandpa in a note, asked Dad. Ben found some paper and his pencils and crayons and started to write. He wrote a note. These are the things Ben likes. Belly tickles, dog biscuits with peanut butter, sleeping on Dad's pillow. These are the things Ben dislikes. Thunder, cat farts, old Yeller, sad movies. He made a poster for Grandpa, so Grandpa will know what Ben likes and what he doesn't, what Buster likes and what he doesn't like. After he had written his note, Ben took Buster for a walk. Ugh! He sees a squirrel, and there goes Buster. And after that, he wrote another note. Don't let Buster off the leash if you see any of the following: squirrels, rabbits, birds, dogs, cars, foxes, ladybugs, stars, the moon, clouds, a moose, flowers, an acorn, and a leaf. Wow, I don't think you can ever let Buster off the leash. In fact, the more Ben thought about it, the more notes he needed to write. A few things for Buster. Dad's slippers, so he doesn't chew yours. My teddy. Dog biscuits. 2 of these been good, only 1 of these been bad. His leash for walks. Food bowl. Stand back when he eats. Wow, look at all these notes. When should Buster have a bath? When he changes colors, when your eyes sting, when you pet him, before Aunt Agnes visits, when he's had a long day. Best spots for a scratch in order of preference. 1 belly, 2 rump, 3 ears, 5 snouts. Wow. By the time the family was ready to set off, Ben had more notes than he could count. That's a lot of notes for Grandpa. I feel like I've forgotten something important, Ben said. Well, you can always send it to me on a postcard, replied Grandpa. Now have a great time. Ben hugged goodbye to Buster, careful not to squeeze too tightly. Then Ben leaves in the car. Bark, 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 bark. Buster's trying to follow, and Ben's sad to leave Buster behind. Ben did have a great time, but he kept remembering things that he'd forgotten to tell Grandpa, so he wrote them all down on postcards. Look, he wrote a postcard while he was in the boat, and while he was on the horse, and while he was at the beach, and while he was underwater. And the postcards are telling Grandpa everything that he's doing. But he was still sure he'd forgotten something important. What could he have forgotten? When Mom felt sick after eating a bad hot dog, it reminded Ben of something to tell Grandpa. Oh, diagnosis chart. What's wrong with Buster? If he's already sunburned, If he looks sad, he's lovesick. He may have ate a toy dinosaur. And sometimes he just needs to pee. And when Dad took a wrong turn on the way to see a famous waterfall, Ben wrote another note. If Buster gets lost, where will he be? Waiting outside the school, sleeping under a tree, knocking over garbage cans, chasing deer in the woods, or chasing the mailman. But it was only then he remembered the very important thing he'd forgotten, and he wrote one last note as quickly as he could. Important! Never take Buster to the post office. He knows that's where the mailman comes from. Love, Ben. Danger! But the note arrived too late. Grandpa and Buster were already on their way to the post office to pick up a package. Uh-oh! No! Yells Grandpa as Buster breaks away with his leash. Bark, 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 bark. Oh no! Buster's tearing up the post office because he wants to get to the mailman. Buster! Yells Grandpa. Buster was banned from the post office, and Grandpa thought that perhaps it was time to cure the dog of his bad behavior. So he began to train Buster. I have a bone for you if you listen, he told Buster. Sit, sit, sit. It was hard work. Good boy. Now stay, stay, stay. Very hard work. Stay. Oh, he dressed up like a mailman. Stay, stay. But Grandpa knew that hard work always pays off in the end. Great work, Buster. Buster did it. And Grandpa gave him a bone. When Ben arrived home, Grandpa had a note of his very own ready for him. What we've been up to. Belly rubs, walks and runs, dog training, long relaxing baths. But most of all, we've been missing you, said Grandpa. Ben couldn't help it. He hugged Grandpa and Buster as hard as he could. Oh, he was so happy to be back with them. In the weeks that followed, Grandpa gave Buster a few extra notes about how to train Buster. No, Buster, sit. Good. No jumping in the bath. Good boy. Stay, Buster. The squirrel is our friend. Buster's doing so good. And when they worked so well that Mom even said Buster could come along on the next family vacation, this time he didn't bark or fart in the car. He didn't chase any birds at all. He was a very well-behaved dog. Well, most of the time. Buster! Why? Buster! Buster is one crazy wild dog. Wow, no wonder that parents needed a vacation. Did you see that? They were so tired because of how crazy Buster was around the house that they said, we're going on vacation and Buster has to stay. So Buster had to stay with Grandpa, and so Ben wrote notes to tell him how to take care of Buster because he loved Buster so much. But then Grandpa was training Buster how to behave. So maybe he wouldn't be such an exhausting dog. And it worked for a little while. But Buster is still a little bit wild. But I guess that's what makes Ben love him so much. I know my dogs can be a little crazy sometimes, but I still love them. Do you have puppy dogs, and do they get crazy sometimes? We still love them. It's okay, but we do have to train them and teach them how to behave, just like you have to behave. And tonight, it's time for you to get cuddled up with your puppy and go off to sleep. I need you to get under your covers, get cuddled up, curled up, ready for a really good night's sleep. And tomorrow, if your puppy's acting crazy, try to teach them how to behave. And tomorrow, if you're acting crazy and your mom tells you to behave, obey. And obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy. I'm be sitting right here, ready to read another book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it, and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.